Alright everyone, it's time for Vermont Issues, episode 99, and this one hits close to home because it's taking place right here in Rutland. We have a community of homeless people that live around here. They don't have like a place to be, they don't have like an apartment or anything. They have an encampment, which means that they sort of live in a sort of tent and shack community. And they sort of got routed where they used to be on the south end, and then they moved, I believe, to the west side of Rutland. And they try to be, like, inconspicuous, like, they don't go around harassing and bothering people, they sort of keep to themselves. And there's a federal lawsuit because what's happening is, they're talking about, well, you know, the local government keeps kicking us out of these encampments we're building, but we literally have nowhere to go and no attempt is being made to house us. I feel split on this, honestly. Because the one part, like, the more capitalistic part of me is like, well, you can't compel other people, you know, in many cases we're talking about something private anyway, we're talking about an apartment building. You can't force other people to do business with people who can't afford to actually take part in that business on a moneyed basis. But the other part of me is like, yeah, but at the same time, isn't that a detriment to the community? And what gives the local government the right if these people aren't bothering anybody? And it's not a piece of land that is specifically privately owned by, in a residential sense. They're not bothering anyone, they're not doing anything specifically illegal, they're just sort of homeless. You know, some of these people, I'm sure, there might be drugs, mental illness, but there isn't even enough room in the homeless shelter, not even on a temporary basis for some of these people. There are too many people with homelessness in Rutland County for that. Haven't they fallen through the cracks to the point at which at least the local government, it doesn't have to necessarily give them direct aid on behalf of the taxpayers, but at least can you, like, fucking leave them alone or something? I haven't seen them doing anything wrong. Like, yeah, they'll stand out in front of Walmart with a sign that says, like, please help, you know, down on my luck. Okay, well, maybe some people have a problem with that, but can you really blame people, especially when they're getting harassed by the town government? So the ACLU is suing on their behalf, saying, well, no attempt is being made to house them, therefore it's a violation of their civil rights. Essentially, through no fault of their own, they're homeless. That much is clear. They're trying to put a roof over their head and have their own little community sort of out of sight, out of mind, so that it doesn't bother anybody. They're leaving people alone. Why exactly would the town government then be harassing them? I'm semi-receptive to that message. If it were causing a major problem, like if the homeless people got together, made an encampment in the middle of the street, that's a different issue. If it was impeding other people from their day-to-day business, that would be totally different. If there was a lot of violence coming from it, if there were a lot of drugs, if they're selling meth to make money and just living in an encampment, or if they just were choosing to live there, otherwise they were like hobos, they had the capability of gaining employment, having a place, but just chose not to and like set up a bunch of shacks behind Walmart, those would be different issues, but that's not what's happening. You got people there who fucking can't help themselves. Now, some of these people, I'm sure, are victims of the recession. Homelessness grew after that. Because I can remember there was a time you'd see maybe one person begging, and then the recession hit, and all of a sudden it was a dozen people, and it's almost as bad now. Well, these people are being ill-served now, aren't they? No attempt is being made to help them. What little can be done to help them is undone when you, you know, basically destroy their encampment. Then they force them to move. They didn't just leave Rutland, like where the hell are they supposed to go? Like, oh yeah, okay, we'll go to Bennington and we'll be homeless there. And then we get forced out, we'll go to Brattleboro and be homeless there. Then we'll go up to Burlington. Maybe we'll just go and wander into some kid's dorm at UVM. Where exactly are these people supposed to go? Again, not 100% unreceptive to the idea that's being put forth by the homeless community here. And I say that as a person who lives in the community. It's really not a problem. If they want to have their shanty town sort of settlement, you know, their fallout-looking sort of tent city of people who are homeless, can't we just leave them alone unless it causes a greater issue? Like, I can understand if they were setting up, like, behind a bunch of homes and, like, people had to deal with a bunch of noise or something, that'd be one thing, but it's not happening. The big issue here is basically now the town gets sued in federal court for discriminating against people for happening to be really poor and down on their luck. And some of these people might have chosen to live like that. Okay, maybe so. But there are also people who are like they're mentally ill, they're not being treated properly. They were or are addicted to some substance. You know, you can get them treatment or something, but again, no addiction treatments available for half these people either. Therein lies another problem. It really does tie into the economic downturn, the piss-poor anti-business model that the state of Vermont uses in combination with the opiate crisis and the fact that we do have a mental health epidemic in the United States as well. One that's being ill-solved. Essentially, they throw people a bottle of pills, say, have a nice day. If they stop taking their pills, or they don't have the money to buy their pills to take in the first place, they're screwed, basically, in many cases. I think that that's a damn shame. We should be able to fund something like that that's so intrinsic to making the country and indeed the state of Vermont a decent place to live for as many people as possible. If you manage to succeed at that, things generally, they're so much more efficient, you're actually saving money anyway. Doesn't anyone understand this? It'd make more sense than wasting money on the NSA. It'd make more sense than wasting money on buying Pissgate dossiers, wouldn't it? No, but the Clintons didn't think about that either. That's about all. Peace out.